Hello you beautiful people, it's been a while. So today I figured I might show you guys one of the pieces of software I've written a few days ago, which is called the Windows 10 Minimizer, which is a utility that minimizes a Windows 10 install. I used it on a couple of machines around the house already, and it works pretty much flawlessly. So to show you what it actually, where you can find it, is that if you go to my website right here, and you scroll down, all the way down, you should find my released software section, and you'll see the Windows 10 Minimizer, which is a utility to make your Windows 10 install more lightweight, and it's written in C#. Even though it's mostly PowerShell, I'll explain why, but I say it's written in C# because I use C# for the UI and stuff, so yeah. How can you access the software? So you can either go to my website right here, go here into the hamburger menu, and you should see release software. Once you click that, it should send you down here to where my software actually is released, and you just click the icon up here. Once you click it, it will send you to the GitHub page of the software which I released. You can see the changelog, what I've changed and stuff so far. So far, as of the time of this recording, we're on version 101, which has a modern UI, modern design implementation. Basically, the design doesn't look crap anymore. It also is referenced in this link. If you guys remember, a while back I made a Windows 10 deep loading guide, and here's the link to the minimizer utility, which basically does the section with the scripts, which starts with section 1, and then it does also a bunch of other things, but that's not important. So back to the software then. So the software itself is written in C#. I've already downloaded it, so I'm going to just find where it is. So we go to my desktop, Windows 10 Minimizer, and there it is. I don't know what this is doing there, it should be on my desktop. Okay, so this is what you will have inside of the folder once you've downloaded it. You'll have the exe itself, a bunch of bash scripts, the readme, and here a folder called scripts. Now these scripts are executed based on what I actually want to do. So if I actually go ahead and open it up, it's going to open up with this UI, which I've made using the integrated designer within Visual Studio itself. And it's pretty much self-explanatory. Run the scripts will basically execute the scripts.bat file, which I can open in Notepad++ to show you guys. And basically what it does, this part elevates the privileges of the bat file itself, and this part just tells you what it's doing. Then it changes directory into the scripts folder, which contains all the script inside of here. Then it says enabled unrestricted execution, which is this command in PowerShell right here. The reason why I write PowerShell -command here is that since it's written in C# and we use the command line, I could actually even show you the source code if I wanted to. Just give me a moment, I'll find it real quick. Window. Users, okay, show you the source code if you want to have a look at it. It's fully written in Visual Studio. I haven't released the source code as of now yet, but it's actually really simple, and I think it's not really worth showing the source code itself because it's like really stupidly simple. So it's loading right now. Should have prepared this beforehand, but I didn't think I would show you this originally. You know, it takes a little while, my computer isn't that fast. Anyway, so back to the script itself. So the script, here you can see that it uses the PowerShell command within the command line, within CMD. Then it gives it the flag or the parameter -command, which tells it PowerShell, you have to execute a command, which I put in these double quotes, which is the set execution policy unrestricted -force, which if you have read my Windows 10 deep loading guide on the website, you might remember this. It's one of the steps. and then it says executing scripts inside the scripts folder. Basically it executes each and every script that's within that, and then it executes even the last one, which is the bat file itself, and once it's done it will wait for a key to press. Is it loaded yet? It's still loading. So to show you if it actually works, oh, maybe it will finish loading. Anyhow, yeah, that's the minimizer thing. So these are the scripts. I'll open just one. For example, the where is it? Remove default apps, for example. Let's open this one in Notepad++ as well. So basically what it does, it goes and imports a few modules right here. Then it writes the output. It's elevating the privileges of this process, which will then elevate the privileges of the script itself. And it will write out what it's doing. So it's uninstalling the default apps. For example, it's uninstalling the Windows Store, then the Xbox app, then each and every other app that's in here. The reason why it removes the Windows Store is that if you leave it installed, it will keep reinstalling the applications we've just removed. You could reinstall it later, but I don't simply see the need for it. Like, I don't use it. And here you can see it says the property to, it basically prevents the apps from reinstalling just in case. Just in case Microsoft has found a way to bypass everything they do. And this will change the directory to where the Windows Store is, and then it will set, this is for the registry values actually, and then it will set it again to auto download 2, which will prevent it from downloading the Windows Store if it is in there, if it's still enabled, so it will prevent it from downloading stuff. And this will prevent suggested applications from returning, which, if you might remember, in the start menu it used to show you like suggested applications somewhere around here, so it will disable that as well. Yeah, I'll return to the app soon. And basically you can have a look at each and every script if you want to. It really depends on you. To show the it has this name because I really hated the bloat that comes with it, so let's open this script up. Basically what it does a bunch of changes to the registry, removes a bunch of unneeded applications, and here it adds a few registry keys, and then it removes OneDrive from your system using these registry keys and stuff. If you have followed my guide, it will show you a few errors while executing. That's because it will try to uninstall something that's not in there, but it's a good safety measure to get fully rid of OneDrive from your system, just in case it takes up a bit more space than it should. So let's close this out. Let's return to the main folder. So, some of you might have noticed that the app has loaded in the background already. So, this is the application within Visual Studio itself. The code for the first form, actually let me show you this. Form 1, let's use the design, and this is basically the design part, which is what shows us how it looks. You can see all the properties within here. Nothing special really. You can see the properties here, still nothing special. Has a fixed size and will always launch at the center of the screen, so basically nothing really that difficult. So on the code itself, so let me just show you. So if you click on the button Run Scripts here, it will execute the process called commands, and it will create as a new process. Then it gives it what it has to launch, which is our scripts.bat file, and then it will execute it inside of our shell, which we have to set as true because it's a bat script that runs inside of our command line. And then it starts the process. And don't worry, it will end as soon as the process itself is killed, so there's no need to add like a kill parameter here right after it, because it's not required, it's not necessary. Next is the Disable services, again the same deal, it will execute the services.bat file, and I can show you the bat files as well as soon as we are finished with the tour of the UI. Then we have enable Windows Update, again the same thing, it will execute the bat file inside of the root directory, and that's pretty much it. So then there's the about. The about will basically show the about window which we've created right here. It basically shows you this information, which I can show you inside of the app itself. So if you click the about, it will show you the information by who it was made, what my website is, what my contact is, and what version it's at. Again, as of recording this video, it's at version 101. So once you decide to actually run the script itself, you just have to let's do the disable services one. It's actually easier to do that one. So once you click run on this one, it will launch a command prompt and then ask for elevating privileges, which you guys cannot see as of now because it right now asked me. It's still loading. So I clicked yes, and now it's executing and it's done. You may not have seen it, but it executed right away. It showed within the command line itself. Let me just run the scripts one. It's actually better to run this one as a better example. So again, it asked me, and as you can see, it's enabling unrestricted execution, and it will show a couple errors, but it does basically the same thing as it did before, and will go through all the steps just like each and every script. So it's being executed and it takes a little while to execute. So yeah, I'm not gonna run it because I already ran it before, but this one takes the longest, a bit less time, and even less time because it's just one bat file. And the about window, which is what I showed you before. Once you click exit, the app gets killed by itself. So onto what the bat scripts are. So let me open each and every one of these inside of Notepad++ to show you what it actually does. And Notepad++, there we go. So this script one, which one was passed? Enable Windows Update, okay. So the Enable Windows Update is a very simple one. It basically says enabling Windows Update. It might have been a typo, and then it says service config vuser v start equals auto. Basically, this references the services variable which you set if you decide to set services. Let me just load this up real quick. Takes a little while to load, so just be patient. Okay, it's loading. So to show you, for example, I don't know, let's find, TeamViewer, for example. Once you double click it, you can see the startup type, and it's set to automatic. And you have a bunch of options here. So you have automatic delete start, automatic, manual, and disabled. So what this script actually does, it sets the startup option to auto, which is essentially the automatic value which is right here, and that's pretty much it. Then it exits itself out. Next one is the services.bat. Let's do that one. So I have played around within Windows 10 for long enough to know which services are not needed and which ones should be disabled. So for example, let's find the fax one. Okay, let's find the fax one. So here's the fax one, and basically what the script did is it just goes to service, sets the fax service to disabled, which is this section right here, the startup type. It's been set to disabled, and it does for all these services right here, which are written out in the script. And again, at the beginning, it sets the administrative privileges, and then there's the scripts file, which executes all the scripts within the scripts folder. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much to talk about. So that's my software I've made. I'll keep making changes to it if I find reasonable, but as of now I'm pretty happy as it looks. And if you have any ideas for any software or utility you want me to create, just let me know and I'll do my best to try and make it. Again, just check out my website if you really want to. I have a bunch of interesting stuff in that. You can have a look at my CV or my wallpapers if you want to. It really depends, up to you. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!